It's a very interesting article, actually. I'm not a person that gets into this UFO stuff too much. I think maybe there's something to it, possibly. If you think about the entire universe out there, are we the only people around with advanced civilizations? Probably not. If you look at some of the ancient structures that are existing upon Earth, with the pyramids and some of the cultures that are out there, some of the construction that's been out there. Well, actually, this is involving the Iranian Air Force, and this is a very, very recent article from November 2013, and it's been going on for some years. They've been having encounters with UFOs, and they've been chalking them up to advanced drones from the USA, and what they're describing is like ridiculously more advanced than anything the USA would have. It's astronomical. It's just beyond belief. And I'll actually point to the link in this article, but I'll just go over briefly. They call the the Iranian Air Force the Persian cats. Meow, right? Anyway, that's pretty interesting. So, and considering this story with UFOs, I almost think back to some of the fables with the flying carpets. Hey, who the hell knows, right? Who the hell knows where some of those fables came from, right? Maybe there's a little bit more to it than you think, right? Who knows, right? But anyway, this comes from the Avianist, I think. It's November 12th, 2013, very recently. But I think it's a very legit article because the Iranians are actually saying, these aren't UFOs. These are really advanced drones from the infidels, coming and spying on us. But what happened was the Iranians, they have like these F-14 Tomcats, and I guess they were sold to them by the United States a long time ago, I guess when the Shah was around or something, or whatever it was. What happened was they have an article that was written by Babak Tavivi in an exclusive interview involving the Iranian Air Force with these F-14 missions over Iran. And they had these encounters with unknown flying objects, which they considered U.S. drones, right? But the thing is, these drones, supposedly drones, some drones, right? It's amazing if we had drones like this. These drones supposedly had the ability to fly outside the atmosphere, attain a maximum cruise speed of Mach 10, and a minimum speed of 0, and with the ability to hover over the target, as was explained by Tagavi. So these are some pretty hardcore individuals because, I can imagine if it's almost like the Iranian Air Force is still standing true with all this in face of all this, thinking that the U.S. has this type of stuff. He says in one case over Iraq, it's A-R-A-K. In November 2004, so this has been going on for some years, right? We're talking 2013, 2004, so that's about 10 years. The crew of an F-14A, armed with two AIM-9J and two AIM-74, spotted a luminous object flying near the heavy water plant at the Iraq site, where they're making, electricity or whatever the hell they're doing with their heavy water. When the beam of the jet's radar painted the object, both the RIO and the pilot saw that the radar scope disrupted, probably due to the high magnetic energy. So supposedly, the United States had U.S. had drones like this way back in 2004 too, right? And the pilot described the object as being spherical with somewhat like a green afterburner, creating a big turbulence behind it. And as soon as they locked on to the object, it just took off like a meteor. So, like, the plane's flying at so fast, how fast whoever an F-14 goes, pretty fast. And, it takes off like a meteor. Just gone. So, yeah, I guess we had that back in 2004, right? So, anyway, another time it happened, it was an F-14 was ordered to scramble. And seconds later, the fighter basically, it was from the 6th Tactical Fighter Base placed near Bashir. Seconds later, the fighter exploded, killing both crew instantly. The reason for this remains a mystery. So what they did, it's typical typical cover-up, because you know, you look at this stuff, you know, the U.S. covers it up, Russia covers it up, the U.K. covers it up, everybody covers this up. So the Iranian authorities said, you know, it was the aircraft was one of the fittest Tomcats they had in their, you know, array of jet fighters. It says they chalked it up to friendly fire. That's why it blew up. That's why it blew up. Friendly fire got it. So they don't want to admit that there's a UFO possible existence out there, possibly. And it says, you know, the Americans still have these drones, and they have these flight uncharacteristics, like things that are absolutely unknown. It's like I don't know, maybe they're being told this stuff, they believe this stuff, and it's been going on for the last 10 years. So, go figure. I mean, this is true. I mean, this is a true story. This guy's writing. He's telling you what's going on. But it looks like all the authorities out there, you know, they dismiss that it could possibly be something from, you know, someplace else other than Earth, right? Or some higher technology out there. Because actually, you know what, that would actually blow apart? A lot of this religion stuff. It would. You know, where do these miracles come from, right? Oh, it was an alien did it, you know? I don't know. I mean, I'm just throwing something out here. Because actually, if you admit or you say that there's some other life out here, and actually, you know, this is the Iranian Air Force. I mean, you're not talking some, you know, people out there, you know, smoking some stuff out there on the ground that they say they thought they saw something. You know, a pilot is trained to actually observe, and, you know, their instruments say certain things, they measure certain things, they have it on their screen. You know, it's like they were tracking something, they were scrambled to track something. And, you know, these stories have been cropping up here and there. But it looks like, you know, this is legit. But the thing is, you know, if they admit that UFOs are legit, it puts a lot of other things into question, like religion. And religion is usually used with the state to control the people. You know what I'm saying? So who the hell knows? Anyway, but this is actually a true story. And it's been going on for a while. So I don't know, maybe, you know, who the hell knows? Maybe that's why the U.S. never and Israel never attacked Iran, because there's aliens involved too. Who the hell knows? Who the hell knows? But this is a flat out true story as far as, you know, what the person said. And what this person, you know, where it's coming from is somebody's very responsible, you know, in the Iranian Air Force is telling you what's been going on for the last 10 years. And what they're being told is that the Americans have these very high-tech secret drones that can go like Mach 10, go into the past the atmosphere, hover over the target, and they're like spherical in shape, and they have like a green afterburner on them and stuff like that, and they emit magnetic force, so you can't lock on them with your weapons. Wow. Anyway, something's going on here. Something's going on here. But then again, like I said, you know, if all the governments in the world admitted this, guess what would happen to religion? It would come into question, wouldn't it? Or at least traditional religion. How's that? How about that? You know, just least traditional religion. And a lot of that is control over people too, isn't it? So that's my afterthought about some of this stuff too. So I find this to be highly interesting, because it's not your typical UFO story. And, you know, maybe some of those fables, like I said, maybe some of those fables they had from the flying carpets way back, who the hell knows? Maybe they're based upon something like this. Maybe there's something about it that is based on some kind of fact too. Who the hell knows?